Cats are a solitary bunch. They prefer quiet naps in trees or in the sunbeam casts in an otherwise vacated living room. The loner lifestyle is just easier for felines that perfect hunting and don't want to share their kills. But one and only one cat prefers to live and hunt as a team. Together, these pantheras can dominate the best areas of the savannah, and all it takes is a little social interaction. But cooperation in a demanding environment is easier said than done in life, death, and taxonomy. Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's your 30 minutes of interesting animal information. I'm Joe.
And I'm Carlos.
And today we're talking about the Sultan of the Savannah, the Prince of the Pride, the King of the Jungle. But more on that later.
Oh, are you stealing my nickname thunder?
I guess I am right now.
I mean, those were pretty good ones. So, kudos. You want this job?
No, not really at all.
Oh, okay. Because those were probably better than the ones I came up with. But that's neither here nor there. We'll find out. Yeah, I mean, the King of the Jungle, it's not very apt. Because we're talking about the lion, the one and only. And they don't really live in the jungle.
It may have one time been the King of the Jungle. They used to have a much broader range, including like most of Africa, up into the Middle East, up into Europe, and over into India. But now they're like kind of relegated to smaller portions of Africa and some in India.
Yeah, they don't really have. They're ambush predators, which we'll talk about later, and they don't really have the coloration to make the jungle work. That's more.
True.
That's more a leopard's domain.
Or a tiger. Really, a tiger is the king of the jungle.
Yeah, I would definitely give it to the tiger. But Edgar Rice Burroughs calls the lion the king of the jungle, and I'm glad that when making the movie Tarzan, Disney was like, "Oh wait, there are no lions in the jungle. Let's change it to a leopard," and so they did. Let's find out some nicknames for the lion. I mean, you already said the Sultan of the Savannah, what'd you say? The Prince of the Pride? Those are pretty good ones. I wish I had thought of those. I came up with a prudent prowler. And then gnaw up in your business.
Yeah.
Also the Proud Family. That works. If you remember that show.
Yes.
From a million years ago. But let's taxonomize this. Everybody knows the lion, but can you say it's binomial nomenclature? Probably not. And neither could I before I researched this. So the kingdom is the one you know, love, and are in, and that kingdom is Animalia. The phylum is Chordata. The class is Mammalia. And the order is Carnivora. And there's a suborder for this one, Feliforma. Means it looks like a cat. And then the family is Felidae, which means it is a cat. The subfamily is Pantherinae. The genus is Panthera, which is all big cats are in the genus Panthera. And then the species is Leo, which is why everything having to do with lions is Leo. That's the constellation and all that stuff. So the binomial nomenclature is Panthera Leo. And the common name is just lion. It's interesting that it's like lion, it's lived all over the place, but there's only one species. They live in different places, so there's like the African lion and the Asiatic lion, but they're still just lions. It's not like the forest elephant and the bush elephant. Those are different species.
They're also different sizes, which is interesting.
Yeah,
Slightly.
I mean, I think it's just like growing or genetics or something like that, but they are not sexually independent from one another, like most species are. Although you can get a liger, which is interesting. One of the few not sterile hybrids. But since we're in the business of
I thought they are sterile.
I don't think ligers are sterile. I think like mules are sterile. I've got to look at it again. Did you know there's a lepin? A lion and a leopard?
I did not know that.
Huh.
I knew there was a tigon.
Well, what? What is that?
A tiger and a lion, but it's the opposite.
It's the same thing.
No. You know how like a liger is a lion and a tiger, but the lion is male and the tiger's female? and the other one's opposite. A Tigon is opposite of that.
I'm reading that right now.
I don't know if I said that right or if I got them out of order, but that's the case.
The liger is bigger than a lion and a tiger, whereas most Tigons are relatively small compared to their parents because of reciprocal gene effects. Well, we learned a little bit of something about. I didn't realize that by switching the parents that you get a different hybrid.
I think the same is true with mules.
What do you get if you switch it up?
I don't know that.
Because a mule is a horse mother and a donkey father. I wonder if you switch it up, you get I don't know. It's not a portmanteau like a liger is, so I don't know.
Strictly
what you
male donkey, female horse is a mule.
A Moscow mule. Yum. While you're looking that up, since we're in the business of naming things, let's get into a segment of the show that is very near and dear to my heart, and that segment is critter groups.
Is this going to be about hinnies? Because that's what the opposite of a mule is.
A hinny?
Hinny.
I feel like I've heard that before. It doesn't sound completely foreign like Tigon does. So I'll allow it. I'll allow that to exist as a fact.
Okay.
But anyway, back to critter groups. This is the part of the show where I ask you, Joe, a question, and that question is the same every time. What is the name of a group of these animals? Or what is the name of what is the term of venery for these animals? Or what is the collective noun? So, since I know that you know what a group of lions is called, let's go with cats. Because that one's a little bit less well known, surprisingly. Even though we have just cats in general, we have a lot more interaction with them than we do with lions. So, if you saw a group of cats, would you say, is that A, an atlin of cats, B, a brace of cats, C, a clouder of cats, or D, a rush of cats?
I'm going to say clouder. I don't know why. Clouded leopards, maybe? That's why it's in my head.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You are correct. Man, I thought I'd get you with
Sweet.
Atlin.
No, that was good. I just forgot about it. So.
And a rush of cats? I was
kicking
like,
around my head.
I was very pleased with my made up words here. But good job. You saw through the smoke and mirrors that I tried to put up. I'm glad that I was very happy to find out that cats was a weird one. Because obviously a group of lions is called a pride of lions.
Yeah, and we're going to learn about there's different types of groups of lions too, and they have other names, and I was worried that you were going to try to go for that. But as a part of the major fact, I looked that up too.
Yeah, if I can't go specific, I'll go more general. That's usually my go-to for this segment. But good job. Let's go into what a lion looks like, as though I have to explain it. But we did explain the elephant, so we might as well explain this one. Lions are massive cats with short tan fur, a short neck, round ears, and a long tail with a hairy tuft at the end of the tail. Males have a characteristic large mane of long hair that can extend all the way across their chest and down to the middle of their back. And the darker the mane, so if it gets closer to black, the older the lion is and the more testosterone the lion has. So usually a healthy, mature male has a darker mane. Females are called lionesses, and they don't have the mane. And I realized, I was like, I guess most animals outside of like ungulates don't have different names for males and females. I mean, it's not a leopard and a leopardess. I guess there's tigress, you could say. And then there's like
True.
Cow and bull and buck and doe and stuff like that.
Euphrates.
But what? Oh, tigress.
Said,
yeah, tigress.
It might be because it's hard to miss a lion. It's very culturally significant because it's such a big, dangerous cat. And then also, they're very sexually dimorphic in terms of size. So you might be like, oh, I saw a lion the other day around this area. And you're like, oh, was it Was it a lion or a lioness? Because if it was a lion, it was 1.5 times the size.
And also had a mane, probably.
And is very territorial and wants to kill me immediately.
And if it was a lioness, there were probably 3 other lionesses that were ready to buddy spike you.
Yeah, that's true.
like raptors in Jurassic Park.
Clever girls.
Lions also have large paws equipped with retractable claws for gripping onto prey. And sometimes lions can have a rare genetic condition called leucism that causes their fur to lose pigmentation and turn white. They're not albino, but they are white lions. So, and those are some pretty cool pictures if you want to look up white lions. But you said that there was some significant sexual dimorphism in terms of size, and these are also some of the largest cats in the world, probably only second possibly to tigers. So how big are they?
How big are they indeed? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, okay, moving on.
Just kidding. That brings us to the listener's favorite part of the show. Welcome to the beloved Measure Up segment, the part of the show when we present the animal size and dimensions in relatable terms through a quiz that's fun for the whole family. It's also part of the show that's introduced by you when you send an audio of yourself saying, singing, or roaring the words Measure Up into ldtaxonomy@gmail.com. We do have a new Measure Up intro this week from some rando, actually.
You gonna keep that in the show?
Yes, I am, because that's what he said. He that's the title of the email. From some rando, good luck, Carlos.
From some rando. Good luck on what? Oh, on figuring out who he is, or on the
on Measure Up.
On Measure Up. Okay. Well, thank you, some rando.
I asked him if he wanted, since he said he called himself a rando. I asked him if he wanted a shout out based on his email, or just to be anonymous, and he didn't get back to me because he sent it today. So if he does, I'll give him a shout out next week.
Wow, we're getting like this anonymous stream of measure ups from badgers and randos. But awesome, let's hear it.
Without further ado, the listener's favorite part of the show.
John Cena! Yeah, just kidding. It's Measure Up.
I'm so afraid.
You thought it was John Cena for a second, but it's not that.
I'm so afraid. But not expecting that at all. But thanks, some rando, for giving me heart palpitations. I'm now ready to do math.
Alrighty. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about male size. Males can be up to, like I said, 1.5 times the size of females. They're larger in southern Africa, and the largest can be up to 208 centimeters in length, or 82 inches, which is close to 7 feet, like 6.8 feet, not including the tail. So let's go by 82 inches. How many lions go into the length of the Detroit Lions single season passing record?
What
is
that?
You're not a sports fan. I hope I'm not condescending to you by asking you.
Wait. I can figure this out. It's in one season of games. The amount they have passed the ball, right? Like in yards?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the quarterback throwing the ball. And so even if the quarterback throws 1 yard to the receiver, but the receiver runs 60 yards, the quarterback gets 61 yards passing.
Oh, so as long as it's not a handoff,
so it's just
it counts as a pass.
It's the yards gained with a completed pass.
Okay.
And a single season is just all of the yards combined in one season for this particular quarterback. So here's the hint.
No.
QB Matthew Stafford has multiple Detroit Lions records, including single season passing, which he achieved in 2011. He also has the next several slots in subsequent seasons. He's gotten them. But yeah, he's pretty much dominating the single season passing records for the Detroit Lions. So you're not looking for the best ever. You're looking for the specific record for the one NFL team, the Detroit Lions.
I don't really hear very much about them. So are they very good?
I mean, like any team, they are
They have
good
their
in
ups and
some
downs?
seasons, but they're not contenders, big contenders in recent years.
Okay. My guess is 5,000 yards.
Okay.
I have no idea. Because I also don't know how many games are played, how many yards are in a game.
How many yards are in a game?
How many yards
well,
are
there's
how many
there's
yards
100 yards on a
are
field.
passed in a game? I mean, because I guess sometimes games go longer than other. I don't know. I'm not gonna think about this. I'm gonna say it's 15,000 feet, 5,000 yards, 15,000 feet, and this guy's about 7 feet. Oh, you said 6.8, so I can just do that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say 2,205. 2,000. We'll just go 2,200 lions length, like animal lion lengths, can go into the amount that this quarterback has thrown the ball in a season.
Okay.
Gosh, this was hard.
The correct answer is 2211.
No.
2,211 lines.
No, it's not.
Stafford threw for 5,038 yards.
Oh my goodness.
The area you knew the least about and the closest you've gotten on a guess.
No, last week was really close. I think I was almost spot on last week too.
You were spot on your estimation, but you didn't know how many feet were in a mile.
Oh yeah, I just put 50. I still haven't memorized that.
Just
stuff.
write that down wherever you record a podcast.
I really should. Wow, that was amazing. I'm on cloud 9. Don't bring me down.
All right, let's see if you get brought down. So, let's talk about
Don't
male
bring me
weight.
down.
Woo! 225 kilograms or 496 pounds. How many lions go into the weight of the Lion, a steam locomotive built in 1846?
Just the locomotive part.
Yeah, so the engine.
Here's
a hint. The locomotive was built for logging and used on the Sport Railroad of eastern Maine. It ran until 1890, and today it's displayed in the Maine State Museum.
Wait, so how heavy was the line?
225 kilograms or 496 pounds.
Man, that is a big, heavy animal. I'm going to say that this steam engine was 10 tons. That sounds like a good, strong, respectable number. So we're going to say that's 20,000 pounds divided by 496. We are at 40 lions. That sounds wrong, but I'm going with it.
40 lions
Yes.
is your answer.
40
Final
lions.
answer?
Final answer.
The correct answer was 36 lions.
You know it's not.
The locomotive is 9 tons. Dang, people are going to think you're cheating.
I know, and I have no way of proving it to them other than I am a trustworthy gentleman. And I definitely used a calculator for my division. So there we go. Wow.
Well, as per the terms of the game, you are allowed to use a calculator.
That was the best measure up I've ever done. And I think it's all thanks to the rando. And
it is, yeah.
He wished me good luck and scared me to high heaven, and now I'm good.
You had that adrenaline pumping. And as you know, adrenaline helps math.
Yeah, it does. My teacher, Mrs. Hendry, taught me that.
She slapped around all her students before a math test.
No, but one of my
Just to
math
get
teachers
get
wore
them blood pumping.
didn't wear any shoes. She had frog
Socks?
frog socks on, and she just walked around with
And that was scary to
with
you?
those. I did feel a little bit under the gun when a frog was nearby. Yes. So thanks Rando for the math magic.
We're done with Measure Up. You got any fast facts?
Yes. So let's talk about where they live. They used to, like you said, they used to live all over the place, especially in ancient times. The Bible talks about them being all over the Middle East. And they actually used to live all the way up into North America and in Eastern Russia. But their range has been significantly reduced. And now almost all lions live in sub-Saharan Africa, with what you said, a small population living in Western India. So let's talk about what they eat. So lions are far from cowardly. In fact, they're considered generalist hypercarnivores, which sounded so cool until I looked it up and it said it was an animal with a diet that consists of more than 70% meat. And I was like, I thought that percentage would have to be higher to be considered a hypercarnivore, or a 7-point carnivore. But no, I guess it's just 70% meat. So lions are huge apex and keystone predators that hunt in packs. So there's pretty much nothing that they can't bring down in the African savanna. They usually like to eat kind of middle of the road animals, ungulates like antelope, buffalo, wildebeest, zebra, and giraffes. Although I wouldn't call a giraffe a middle of the road animal. But for the most part, smaller mammals are too small to be worth the trouble, and larger animals like elephants and rhinos and hippos are too dangerous. But they can and will definitely make a meal out of any of these things if they need to. So a group of lionesses, this is how they hunt. A group of lionesses will try and ambush their prey in one fell swoop. And you'd think that they could just chase their prey and outrun them, but you got to read in between the lines for this. They can't run for very long, so most animals can just sprint away from them if they're not caught in the first few seconds. And the reason is because their hearts are proportionally smaller to their bodies than other animals. So the reason King Richard the Lionheart got his name is because he had Grinch syndrome.
That's true. That's interesting.
But the reality is Grinch syndrome is actually a debilitating small heart disorder.
Is it really?
Yeah,
like,
it
did
is.
they call it that?
They call it Grinch syndrome, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's there's a little bit of tonal dissonance there, but I did not know about it, and also I couldn't memorize the actual name of it. It's like polytachycardia something else. But yeah, small hearts. If your heart is smaller compared to your body, then you don't have the cardio to run long distances. So hyena, like, so I think it's a lioness's heart makes up 0.5% of her body, where like a hyena's takes up 1% of its body. So it's twice as big proportionally. Speaking of hyenas, lions often live off of the scavenged kills from spotted hyenas, which we talked about back when we talked about the horrible life of a male spotted hyena. But and male lions also hunt too. It's not, you might think that lionesses are the only ones that hunt, but male lions hunt, but only if they don't have a pride. So if they don't have a pride of lionesses hunting for them, then they have to hunt themselves. But they usually hunt by themselves. They're not cooperative. And a few more fast facts to round it out. Lions can live up to 20 years in captivity. Their roar can be heard up to 5 miles away. And the Roman Emperor Commodus once killed 100 lions in a single day in the Colosseum. And
Interesting.
That must have been not very fun to watch. even if you are the kind of person that enjoys watching people kill lions.
Wait a minute. Did the Roman emperor just like authorize the killing of them?
No.
Or was he in the Colosseum himself killing them?
He stood on a raised platform in the Colosseum and shot them with a bow.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I guess it would have been interesting.
Not that impressive, actually.
To watch had he been like in the Colosseum with a short sword, but and then killed 100 lions. That would have been impressive, like Samson level impressive. But no, he was a coward. He was like one of the worst Roman emperors anyway. But just to seal the deal, there you go. And that's all I got.
Okie dokie. So let's get into the fast fact, which I'm calling gregarious kitties.
It's a major fact.
Yeah, the major fact. It's not fast at all. It's maybe only over short distances. So lions are the only cats on Earth that we know form organized social groups. So that means a bunch of cats around a dumpster doesn't count.
A clouder of cats.
Yeah, a chowder of cats. Lion groups are called a pride, like you said, I think.
Yep.
And they're made up of a male, several females, usually like 3 to 6, and their cubs. Male lions by themselves form coalitions that roam the wilds looking for territory and a pride of their own to take over. In some cases, male lions will allow a second submissive male to be in the pride. This may be the dominant lion's brother. In one example, I saw 2 brothers defeated a dominant lion and took over his pride. But both lions lived in the pride, but only one was the dominant male.
And that was Mufasa, and the other one was Scar.
Right. In many ways, that the hierarchy, they get it right. But technically, Nala and Simba are siblings. So,
are they?
And that is canon. Well, it's canon because the creator of The Lion King said it in an interview. Like, he's like, we don't like to talk about it, but technically they would have to be for a reason I'm going to get into.
Okay.
So there's also a dominant female. She often leads the hunt. Videos I watched said it was her responsibility to hunt and provide food, but I have no idea what the lion concept of responsibility is or how we even know it. But that could just mean she usually takes the lead on hunts and stuff like that.
These kinds of documentaries love to anthropomorphize animals like that.
That's true. A scientific paper might not say that.
Probably not.
Documentaries made for people of the normal variety might say stuff like anthropomorphic things. So all females mate with a dominant male, but dominant lions usually defend the center of the pride's territory and enjoy the most protection. So the dominant female is probably going to be with the dominant male in the center of the pride in their territory, where low-ranking females will be around the outskirts.
Okay.
So all adult lions share responsibilities, and female lions will even nurse each other's young. So they found that like lionesses with loads of kittens, loads of cubs in her litter will be more selective, but ones with like only one cub will nurse her cub and other cubs that are around.
That's so nice of her.
It is nice of her. So lion social groups are largely based on territory. Ideal territory will have access to water and prey species. The best territories are where rivers intersect because it funnels prey into an enclosed area. So like you're being chased by a lion and then all of a sudden there's a river on both sides and it's getting narrower and narrower, and then you have to choose between jump into a crocodile mouth or get killed by a lion. So it's a bad situation for you.
Good for the lion, bad for whatever it is.
Yeah, and if you're a gazelle, you're like, I have to be here to drink. So this is great.
This is great. The cards are definitely stacked against me here.
Lions need to defend territory from rival males, other predators, and other lion prides in general. So if two lion prides have overlapping territory, they will fight over which pride has to be driven out. If a male lion takes over a territory and their pride, he will kill the lion cubs that belong to the previous dominant male. So that's why Nala and Simba must be siblings, or else Mufasa would have killed the other cub. You know? He would have killed Nala if it wasn't his daughter.
I guess there aren't any other male lions outside of the royal family in Lion King.
Yeah, so just Scar. And they do it really well. Scar is usually never with the full pride. You usually see him off by himself, and other characters come to him where he is, in a cave or off by himself. Except for the fact that Mufasa expected him to be at Simba's baptism or whatever. So his christening.
They got me. That was unexpected.
So,
but Scar has the darker mane, so he's technically should be the older,
younger,
the more mature and healthier lion.
Mature and healthy means black manes? I thought you said young and healthy.
No, mature and healthy is and more testosterone is darker manes.
Oh, interesting. So maybe he got aged out.
Yeah, maybe he's just the older brother with the scar.
So lion roars can be heard from 3 miles away or 5 kilometers.
I put 5 miles.
5 kilometers.
I got 5 miles.
5 miles? Oh, okay.
Let me recheck.
So between 3 and 5 miles. And lion roars are territorial displays. So nearby prides can hear the roars and discern how many lions are roaring. So they have this ability to hear just a cacophony of roaring, and they know how many lions are roaring.
Well, that's crazy.
If they're outnumbered, they won't challenge the pride. So basically, you're saying when you and your whole pride is roaring, you're hoping they're gonna hear. You're basically saying this is how many of us there are, and you're hoping they have fewer.
I would just keep my mouth shut and just be like, "Hey, let's move. It's time to move."
No, they wouldn't. So you definitely don't want that because your whole society is based on maintaining a territory. So moving is defeat and possibly death to many of your numbers. So
it is 5 miles, by the way, 8 kilometers.
Oh, okay. Male lions are good fathers to their own cubs. Their job is to defend the pride. So they usually stay with cubs while females go out and hunt. So cubs often play with their fathers while they're trying to sleep, and it's adorable. And you can see videos of it.
They're not just roarmongers.
Females are aggressive when they have young cubs, and a group of females may attack a male that invades their territory. So if you're a male and you want a territory and a pride, not only do you have to contend with the other male, you also have to contend with all the females if they have young cubs. If they don't have young cubs and the dominant male lion is old, then you might not have as much to worry about as the male lion. But one BBC video shows aggressive females mistaking one of their own male pride mates for an intruder and attacking him before they realize it and back off.
He's like, "Whoa, ladies, it's me, Tim."
And they're like, "Oh, Tim the lion. I'm sorry." And it said that they took out the rest of their aggression on each other once they realized.
They just like,
so they just.
I don't want to attack Tim anymore, but I'm just so angry.
Yeah. So pride size walks that razor's edge between food availability and the ability to defend the territory. So large prides may reach numbers of up to 30 lions. But big prides are capable of defending the best territories, and they usually have access to the best food sources. On the other hand, large prides need the best food sources to sustain their numbers. if a pride gets too large for their territory, individuals might be driven out, especially if they can't perform their tasks well enough. So if a female lion is injured or too old to hunt, she might be driven out. Or if the dominant male lion is too old to defend the pride, he might be driven out.
It's a meritocracy.
It is a hierarchical meritocracy. And that's all I got.
The socialites of the savannah.
They are.
I did not know that they were the only cat to do this. I kind of assumed that other cats got together and...
Yeah, I read that, I'm like, no. And then I just started thinking, it's like, I can't really think of any other examples.
Most big cats are lone rangers.
Star.
Lone Star. Interesting. All right. Well, that was the lion. There's a lot more to say about lions because we know so much about them. Not us, but people. But we're trying to stay within the 30 minutes. But if you want to learn more about lions, look them up. White lions are cool, so definitely look that up. So for you out there in Podcastia, throw back your mane, let out a roar, and maintain a series of complicated social relationships like the lion here in Life, Death, and Taxonomy.
Life, Death, and Taxonomy is my favorite in the world podcast.
Nice. It's good advice for the times. Get to know your neighbor.
Roar at them.